So this is going to be my gear video. I've been promising to do this for a while now. It's definitely the most common question I get asked is, you know, what I'm shooting with and all that. So to start off, I'm using a Peak Design backpack, which I absolutely love. They sent it out to me, I've probably been using it 2 or 3 months at this point, and it's pretty much an everyday carry. It's called the Everyday Backpack, and it's really an everyday carry. But I'll get right into it. So it's got these side compartments that are really convenient, because before I just used like a Patagonia backpack, and I'd have to like stop and open it up and drudge through it to get you know, whatever lens I wanted. But with this, I can kind of, I'll actually show you. I can kind of slip it to the side here and then open it and get to what I need. But I'll show you what I need to get to. So I'm shooting with a Nikon D7100 right now, and the lens, like I said, I've said this a couple of times, but the lens that's most commonly on my camera is the 35mm 1.8. It's the G model of the 35mm. And this is a crop sensor camera, so that's equivalent to about a 50mm on a full frame camera. Really love this camera. First camera I've ever bought, and it's treated me really well. I'm looking to upgrade to a full frame here pretty soon, but I'll definitely keep the 7100 as my backup camera. It's a pretty good workhorse. Really don't have too many complaints. Low light is pretty much the only area where I would like a little bit more performance, but you know, you can't get everything. So there's that, the 7100 with a 35mm lens. The second most popular lens that I have is this Tokina 11-16 super wide, and I got this in lieu of the Nikon version, which is the 12-24, which is like $1,500. This lens I think I picked up for like $350 or $400, and it is super sharp, super wide. You don't really get any like chromatic aberrations, or even it doesn't even seem like a rounded image, which happens a lot of times with super wides. Yeah, so I use this quite a bit. I shot this was actually on my camera probably 90% of my New Zealand trip. Yeah, another lens I love. Also in my bag, I carry around a 35mm film camera just for fun. I don't really post with this or anything. This is kind of just for my personal use. Yeah, sometimes I get all caught up in the digital and posting and everything, and it's kind of just nice to take a step back and you know, shoot on film and get the images out, because it's not often that I print my digital photos, so to get physical copies is pretty cool. Plus it's just a different way of shooting. You kind of have to think about it differently and set your apertures, and yeah, so 35, it's pretty cool. It was actually my dad's camera, and I borrowed it for New Zealand, and I've kind of just kept it ever since. Sorry, Dad. Let's see, what else do I have? So it's a side pocket, and then in here, I don't have anything in here right now, but I usually keep like my laptop cords and things of that nature. And you can also get to the top section right through here, which I guess I'll show you. In the top section, I carry my external hard drive, which I use for all of my photo editing. Pretty much everything's on this. I don't keep a whole lot on my Mac, just because I think it speeds things up whenever I have it on here, and it isn't taking away space on the Mac. And then I also keep a microfiber wipe cloth. Been meaning to get a smaller one because this is taking up some real estate, but that's what I have for right now. Keep your stuff clean. Yeah, so this it's like a magnetic latch. It's pretty sweet. You can't just like pull up. It's kind of like theft proof that way. Kind of got to pull down and then just get into it. It's got a bunch of different notches, and it expands. I got the 30 liter. They also offer a 20 liter. But I just love that I can have everything and more in this. Let's see, I'll finish up with the lenses. So on this side of the bag, I've got a manual 50 mil, which I use for video because it's got really smooth focus ring on it. So yeah, I use this for all my video. Plus I just think old glass looks really good with video, or in video. So yeah, this is my 50 mil, and with the crop sensor it's about an 85, which is really flattering for shooting people at that millimeter. So yeah, 50 mil manual. This is the lens that I used pretty much all summer, last summer, when I first made my trip out to Seattle, and it's the 24-85 Nikon 3545, and yeah, absolutely love this. 85 is, I think that's like equivalent to 135 on a full frame, or with the crop sensor. And so this is like when I get surfing shots or I need to like get up close on something, this is nice. I've kind of resorted back to shooting with prime lenses. One, because I've found that they're sharper. Not much surprise there, less components. But the other thing is I found when I had a zoom lens, I kind of got lazy and like just zoomed in to get my subject in the thirds. I didn't have to move around as much, and when I found that I had like a 35 on, I knew I needed to move around to get the subject where I wanted it to anyway. So it was kind of just like almost like inertia, like when I'm moving, I'm moving. So yeah, I tend to be more like stationary with this, so I haven't used it a whole lot recently. It's also pretty good for video too. Yeah, so that's pretty much my bag. Got a few more small things. I carry a headlamp in the bag. You never know when you're going to get out after dark. And then talking about after dark, I also have a shutter release, which is super important whenever you're shooting astrophotography, star photos, because you don't want to touch your camera at all, because even just a slight shake will mess up your photo. So yeah, that's what I have in my camera bag right now. I'm shooting this on my friend's T3i, so that's what this video is on. And then as far as tripods, I'm using a pretty cheap like Zomi, I believe that's how it's pronounced, tripod. I got it off Amazon. It's something that I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on right now, but it does have, the big thing with tripods for me is it's got a ball head on it, a swivel ball head, and I find that pretty important because I can lock onto whatever I want and then just tighten it up. So yeah, just to recap, D7100, 35 mil, which is, if you had to just get like one setup, this is what, and I had this for quite a while, just the 35 mil, before I bought any other lenses. So yeah, if I could just get one setup, it would be 7100 35 mil. What's this? 24-85, 50 mil for shooting video, and then the big bad 11-16 Tokina for super wide. So this is the gear that I'm carrying around pretty much every single day. But I can't stress how much I love this backpack. It's really just, it's just the ease of access, and everything's just thought out very well, well thought out. So yeah, this is my gear. Peace. That's all right.
Drop the cord. I thought you were going to crack it at the end.
Well, I was going to crack it right there, and then you spoke.
Oh.
And kind of just ruined the whole ambiance of the video. I thought I was going to start it with a cracked veneer. But we're...
Future cracker now, though.
Alright. So, completely forgot about the catch-all. Up here on the top is a nice compartment. Let's see if I can show you a little bit more. So it's like a two-part compartment. There's a spot for a laptop, and I guess the laptop I'm using is the 15-inch MacBook Touch Bar edition, the new MacBook, whatever. Apparently they made a new one, which I'm not stoked on, because I just got this a couple months ago, and apparently there's a new one, but you know, that's how the world works. But then there's also like a nice little catch-all right here on the top, which is super convenient. I keep pens in there, film for my film camera, my dongle for my SD card reader for the Mac. If you have a Mac or you're getting a new Mac and it's got the USB-C, don't get this kind. You think it looks like all cool and shit because it's like metal looking and it looks like it'll just look nicely on the side. It's terrible. It like ejects your card on accident if you sit down too hard, and it's just not a good deal. I'm getting a new one. Get one with the cord that just plugs in and it's got the little external. Trust me. Lighters, you never know when you're gonna need that. Little Allen wrench. Bose in-ear headphones are the greatest thing to ever exist. I love, whenever I'm just shooting by myself, I totally just put my headphones in, zone out. And I love like shooting when I'm shooting like street photography. It's just, I'm totally incognito and I'm just, you know, doing my thing. Let's see what else we got in here. Extra batteries, always carry batteries. Trick tip on batteries is you can get throw a couple rubber bands in like whatever catch-all you're using or your bag. And whenever a battery like gets drained, you can wrap the rubber band around it, so then you know whenever you get home that needs to be charged. Also, another little thing that you might not think about is like, so I keep quarters, a couple quarters in my bag, so that I can like tighten my tripod mount, the plate that sits on the bottom of the camera. Because sometimes you're out in the field and you just like can't get it tight and it's just moving around, and you want it as tight as possible, obviously. Let's see, I knew I was gonna forget a couple more things. The camera strap. This is actually how I got into Peak Design. I had just their blue like mountain edition camera strap, and it's super sweet because it's got, you can just pop on and off the, like, I never liked having, this video is becoming pretty convoluted, but I can't really, I don't have it with me. Cheers. Fuck. All right. This is like a good 45 minutes later, hour later. We had to switch cameras because the other one was about to die, so I rushed through it. It's a whole thing. But anyway, in the Peak Design bag, there is these little folder dividers, so you can kind of like, you can stick your camera or whatever, but you can kind of pop them shut, so it like, you can, there's a lot of different ways you can set up your bag, so that you can have like your lenses, little lenses in each individual compartment, which is nice, so that they're not all like rolling around and stuff. Like in this second little compartment, it's like they're like little shelves, and so you can pop this like that. I keep my Tokina, like I said, in the second one, but on the other side I've got the 50mm manual, so these aren't like clanking together or anything like that. That's always super nice. Yeah, I think that's all the rest of, I keep sunglasses. I'm using Sunskis right now. They sent over a couple pairs, super nice. So I always keep some sunglasses in here because, you know, you gotta stay shaded. Yeah, so I think this is totally gonna complete it now. I felt bad about not finishing it, and so now it's finished. Go Peak Design, go photography. Instagram is pretty cool. Go shoot photos, folks. What do you think, Kelsey? Is the video done? Did I forget anything?